So today I will be making a video on Cpap. Now there's a lot of things going on in this dungeon, and if I happen to miss some details, hopefully there is not crucial, because I'm right now we've mainly focused on berserker's gameplay on this channel. But when you enter the dungeon, make sure you read what the boss is gonna be like, what he's going to do before you jump down. That's when a lot of people waste a revive on that. Now I open my inventory to grab a whetstone to increase my damage, because DPS is very important in this dungeon. Not a lot of people can pull other people's weight in this dungeon. Now at 95%, he will stand still like right now and start spinning. That's a very good time to put out DPS. So use whatever enhancement you have, like rooted strength and HS for priest to help the DPS. Now when he enters the phase 1, right now he will summon a lot of time dinging on the floor, numbers, and each one of them has a different debuff, and if you happen to step into it and not move, you will die instantly, pretty much, just like how the what we call it, the black water thing in Cpap. In this phase you will need two bomb thrower on 5 o'clock and 7 o'clock each side, and both of them will spawn two bombs at the same time, I think. So each one will grab a bomb and throw at it. So when will the shield generated? It's when the boss is about to use a ability. That's when the shield will be generated. It's not random. So make sure you have a good read on what the boss is going to be, if it's just walking or he's about to use ability. You want to predict his movement and throw the bomb before or right when it spawns, to put the map to allow the DPS people to put out the maximum damage. Now besides that, as you can see, there were some laser ads spawn at a second floor. So it will require someone to kill them, preferably a long range, like for example heavy gunner, a rune player. So the reason why you need to kill them is that at 1 o'clock and 11 o'clock at second floor, there will be around 3 dark star that spawns. I think it's 3 or 2, I don't remember. But the knight will usually do the clearing for that part. The way you kill it is that you grab the hammer that is spawned in the map at a specific location, and you grab it, and you can one-shot them, no problem. What if they explode? Okay, if the dark stars explodes, then it will take off 90 seconds off of the timer, the dungeon timer, and that is very detrimental. So now there is also small ones that will be spawning on the map. For example, third floor, there will be 2 spawning. I think wizard with the fire tornado and rune blades. I think heavy gunner can also kill those, but it's not recommended for archers to clear those, because they explode fast and it will take off 30 seconds off of the dungeon timer. Now I just switch a weapon because they have different stats. One that is very bad stats with nothing on the weapon that can help berserker. I think it was like intelligence or magic piercing or something. So it's very bad. Now the new weapon that I got is decent, physical piercing and total damage. So I was just checking the difference there. Now, for phase 1, it's very important for you to not die, because in the later phase it's just gonna become more dangerous, and the DPS environment is just not friendly to a lot of the melee characters. So in around 940 million or 950 million, the boss will enter phase 2, which is the math phase. So what you want to do here is that you will spawn a debuff on yourself, as you can see above my items. There's a blue icon thing. And then the boss will have a buff on himself on top of his HP bar that is also blue. So what you want to do is you match your debuff with his buff. That way you don't get hit and have a negative effect on yourself. So in blue phase, what if you don't have the debuff? If you get hit, your mana will be restricted, and you will also be stunned. And you will take extra damage from his abilities, which is most likely will result in one shot, and that's not ideal. So it is a cycle of blue and red buff. The reason why you want to match yours with his, because whenever he spawns a new buff, if your last buff is still on you, the debuff, then you will not get the new debuff, and that is very bad, because in the upcoming 1 whole minute you cannot get hit by the boss, or else you are dead. So now, as you can see, it's the time his own buff ran out, and he will spawn a new one, and it's a red phase now. Now the red phase, the most important part that I should talk about is the lock-on ability from him. So if you don't have the debuff, the lock-on ability will stun you and one-shot you, following up by a thing falling from the ceiling. So there is a way to dodge that if you don't have the debuff. I think one way you can do is you climb onto the wall, and it will stun you, but the follow-up hit will not hit you and will not insta kill you. So that's one way to dodge it. Second way to dodging it is that when you see the lock on the laser ball about to hit you, you time it correctly and you use your dash. Now you will get stunned, but the follow-up damage will not hit you since you dodge out of the position that you were stunned at. So there's two ways to dodge it. The most important ability there to look out for. Now in phase 2, it will not go into phase 3 until the boss remaining HP around 25%. And in this phase, it's considered a easier time period to put out damage because he doesn't generate a shield. The ability is reasonable and easier to dodge. You really need to practice the math in order to get your timer correctly. Besides that, there is not much of an easy way to deal with it, but there is a general formula that you can use. I can provide. So in the debuff, he will either spawn 15 seconds, 35 seconds, or 55 seconds. It's only one of the three, I believe. So if you happen to get a 15 seconds, so what you want to do is you eat a ×2 and ×3, and your timer will be around the same as his. So next, for 35, what you want to do is you just eat a ×2. So, and then your timer will be around the same as his. when you happen to get a 55 seconds debuff, you just don't eat anything. You just wait and not eat any divide by 2 or anything. So you are good to go to do your DPS and not get any extra effect when you get stunned, when you get attacked. Now he will randomly extend his own buff time. So, and then there's not much you can do about it unless you predicted it, which is hard because it's random. As you can see, I got stunned by the lock-on ability, and I got instant kill there. Now we have entered phase 3 right now. So there's a few things you want to look out for. First, you want to send someone all the way to the left to grab some bombs. And once his shield spawns, you will want to take it off as soon as possible. Then he will go into the spinning mode. In the spinning mode, it is very important for you and the priest stand together, because you're losing about 1.2k HP per second. And for berserker, I think it's manageable if you have the percentage potion and the membership potion and the your life stealing ability up. And one thing you also want to look out for is at 12 o'clock, as you can see right now, the knight just taking care of those dark stars. So at 12 o'clock, there will be 3 dark stars spawning. What a knight or a heavy gunner is required to get them together and use one hammer to finish them all. And if those happen to detonate, then you will lose 90 seconds per bomb, and that will pretty much ruin the run. So there's only so many things they can look out for. A teamwork is very, very important in this dungeon. Phase 3 is very challenging at first. If you it's called panic phase, and it is very panicking for a lot of people. There's just way too many things going on. But besides that, I will probably make a video on the requirement, the stats, what kind of stats you need to have, what kind of skills, because I am using a different skill tree compared to Cmok and Cdef in this dungeon, and I will explain the reason why those changes were made. Now, as far as the dungeon progression, it is way harder than Cmok and Cdef, but not because of the mechanic the boss has. Is personally, I feel like it's more about how much it's asking you from you. The stats is just a headache for me in the past since it came out. I was able to clear it in the first week, but I could not consistently clear it. Not only it's all because it's not about one person. The teamwork is a lot crucial in this one compared to the other ones. But I hope this guide help you guys, and I will post a link, a written guide by someone else in the description, and that one explains everything and shows the positions of a lot of like a hammer, dark star, where they spawn, what time they spawn, etc. And that is very helpful, so make sure you read up on that and just keep practicing, and hopefully people can clear it as soon as possible. But thank you for watching. I see you guys next time.